The Gorgon thus prophesied, the earthquake was only the beginning. The great tremors that swallowed the crystals and light of our world only to spawn monsters from the depths of the scarred land are nothing but harbingers of what is yet to come. Something is coming, fathomless, ominous, and full of sorrow. But hope is not yet lost. 4 souls will be blessed with light, and so it shall begin. In the secluded village of 4 orphans have been raised by Topapa, the village elder. The earthquake had sunken a crystal into the depths of a cave, and the thrill-seeking orphans have wandered in. A trial of courage awaits. Hello everyone, my name is PJ, and welcome to my brand new Let's Play of Final Fantasy III on the Famicom. I had to do this intro 5 times, because that intro goes by so fast. The first 3 times I just didn't read it fast enough. And the 4th time I read it so fast that it just didn't sound natural. God. Well, anyway, Final Fantasy III on the Famicom. This was one of the Final Fantasies that we didn't originally get, and we wouldn't get it until around 2005 or 6-ish, when it was remade in 3D on the Nintendo DS. That was the first time Americans got it, which is unfortunate because that's the inferior version. Yeah, I mentioned this before. I do not like the 3D remake of this game. The original is so much better. I did say that when the time came, I would talk about my reasons for not liking the remake, and that time has come. So, we're going to be playing the original. Now, there are a few different translations for this game. Most people are familiar with a particular one, the one that came out first, but I'm actually using a newer one. This one's called FF3 Refurbished. It's by Chaos Rush. There'll be a link to it in the description. The reason that I'm using this, and I know I'm going to sound like a hypocrite. The reason I'm using this is because it borrows most of the translation from the DS remake. And the reason that I'm using this hack in particular is just because, even though gameplay and story-wise the DS remake is inferior, a few other reasons why too, but as far as the translation goes, the DS version can't really be faulted. Most of the translation in the DS remake is accurate. So that's why I chose this one. So let me just go ahead and make a new game. Now, Final Fantasy I is still my favorite of the trilogy. It's the one that I've played the most. But objectively speaking, Final Fantasy III is probably the best of the trilogy. It takes all of the good things from Final Fantasies 1 and 2, splooges goodness all over that pile, and then molds it into a masterpiece. There's very little wrong with this game. It might be difficult at times, and there are some bugs. I mean, that's to be expected with NES games, so you know. But none of them are particularly game-breaking, and none of them are particularly intrusive. Elements work. The statistics function the way you expect them to. Shields increase both your defense and evasion, so if you have one on, then you're good. Any character can dual wield. I mean, it's very intuitive. You don't need fucking cliff notes in order to play the game like I did with FF2. Oh, let's just get into the game and I'll talk more about it. Let's see. At the beginning, you have 4 orphans, which people like to call the Onion Kids. They all start with the same class, which is Onion Knight. This was the first game that it appeared in. I am probably not going to give them their DS names, Lunith, Arcrephia, and Ingus, but I am going to give them the names that they had in the official novelization. Again, a thing that we never got. We didn't get a lot of things, and translators just can't be arsed to do everything, so you know. Let's see. What was the name of the main character in the novelization? It was Muchi. Okay, and the blue one, as far as the DS remake is concerned, the blue one is the female of the group. I mean, they're all genderless, You can give them whatever genders you want, but as far as the DS remake is concerned, the blue one is the go. So, your name is Melfi. Okay, there's no premature end option. Okay, your name is Doug. It's the only character with a normal sounding name. And your name, yeah, this one looks the exact same as the first one. That's just because of color limitations on the NES. Sometimes this character will appear magenta colored. He's supposed to be the equivalent to Ingus. So, your name is J. Bowie. The novelization had some weird names. But yeah, we start, and the main characters are falling into a cave. Ow! We fell down a hole. Great, now what are we gonna do? And I'm limping along, I guess. Everyone is okay? I guess we got lucky then. What are you talking about? It's your fault why we're down here. Hey, stop wasting time arguing and go find an exit instead. And then we wander north a bit and run into a battle against goblins. All of the music in this game is great. They really outdid themselves with this game's soundtrack. So, you start it up, and you notice that the battle menu is a bit more colorful than it was in Final Fantasy II. Yeah, the windows are blue, so they don't blend in with the black background. That's just something that the NES couldn't really do anything about. It wouldn't be until the next game in the series that battle screens actually had floors, but you know. Now let's see, we actually have a defend option now. Of course, I could just be confusing it with Phantasy Star. I did just play that series, and that game, and there was no defend option. But how this game works is the options that you have available to you are different depending on your current job class. Yeah, this was the first game to introduce active job switching. At any time between combat, you can change a character's job class, just on the fly. You don't have to build them up to a job like you do in 2, and you don't have to give them one job that they stick with for the rest of the game like in 1. You can change them whenever you want. And as for the Onion Knight, all they get is attack, defend, run, and item. Those are the standards. But some characters might replace guard with something, or they might replace run with something. But I'm pretty sure all characters have item and attack at all times. Now if you hit... if you hit right, then you can choose to change a character's row. Rows are back in this game, and they aren't half as stupid as they were in Final Fantasy II, because they actually work the way they're intended to. Characters in the back row have half the accuracy, but double the evasion, and characters in the front row just have normal stuff. Characters in the back row can still be attacked. Not that it matters, since being attacked doesn't raise your hit points for anything like it did in FF2, but nonetheless, it's more intuitive. And I'm going to be using that word a lot, I think. So, you attack, and you select a target, and you'll notice a number appears above the target's head. That 1 means that the first character in the party is targeting that creature, so you don't have to go back if you forgot who targeted what. And it even says attack right there next to his name, so you know what he's doing. See? 1, 2. Both of those characters are attacking the first goblin. And with physical attacks, if the original target dies, they will automatically change targets. Watch. Goblin's dead. Dog attacks, different goblin. That goblin's dead. J. Bowie attacks different goblin. All the goblins are dead. It's amazing. Compared to Final Fantasies 1 and 2, where that just was not a thing. Also, I gained something now called capacity. Every time you win an encounter, you earn capacity points. And you spend capacity points to change job classes. But we don't have any extra jobs now, so I can't show it off. Those were monsters! That was rough. I feel like this isn't the safest place to be. Yeah, so this is the first time these kids have seen monsters. So monsters are a brand new thing in this world. They've just shown up. It's not like Final Fantasies 1 and 2 where they've just kind of always been around. I guess I should open up the menu and show that off. Yeah. Okay, so we got Moochie, Melfi, Doug, and J. Bowie, all of which are currently Onion Knights, and all of whom have the same MP and HP and all that. Yeah, it's just called MP in this game, but it went back to using the slot system that FF1 had. Yeah, this is the last game to use that. But it's not a big deal. Okay, here we have the item menu. Whoops. I'm used to B being select from Phantasy Star. Okay. Yeah, we currently have no items at all. Not even any starting potions, but that's fine. The first dungeon's extremely easy. Magic? Nobody knows any magic. But, look at this. Trade? That does exactly what you think it does. It allows characters to trade spells. So if you accidentally teach Cure to a character that doesn't really use it all that much, you can give it to somebody else. You don't have to buy a new one. And this lets you turn spells that you've learned back into items, back into spell books. What? It's crazy. Let's see. Equip. Yeah, you get a left hand and a right hand, of course. Then you have a hat, body armor, and hand slots. And then you can remove all. I don't think there's an optimize feature yet, but every time you change jobs in this game, you have to remove all of your stuff first. Because for some reason, the game doesn't automatically just remove all of your stuff when you change jobs. I guess it's because, well, let's say you were wielding a bow, for example, when you switched to a class that can't use bows, like the monk. I mean, you can't continue wielding a bow as a monk. I mean, they can't allow that, so it would just automatically get removed. But I guess it wasn't sophisticated enough to check each and every tiny little thing whenever you change jobs. So that's just one minor thing you've got to deal with. Oh, I didn't want to do that. There we go. Okay, stats. Yeah, so level 1, we got 12 experience. We only need 4 more to level up. Leveling is a decent speed in this game. It doesn't take forever like it does in FF2. Let's see, strength 5, agility, all stats are 5. Pretty much all the characters start off exactly the same. Whenever they level up, they gain, I don't know if it's fixed or randomized bonuses to each stat, but the way you control how characters develop is by giving them classes. Like every time they level up, the bonuses that they get are based either on their current class or what classes they have a lot of levels in. Because jobs have their own levels in this game. See, I'm Onion Knight job level 1. I can get each job's level all the way up to 99, and that affects a few different things. But there's not really much need to. Except some classes get really special stuff when they reach particularly high job levels. The Onion Knight, for example, starts off as the weakest class in the game. but by the time you get into job level 90 or 91, its stats start skyrocketing. And by the time Onion Knight is job level 99, it's the strongest physical class in the game. It still can't cast any spells, but it can wear any armor and wield any weapon and has ridiculously high offense and defense all around. So you can pretty much crush anything, even though you can't cast spells. Let's see, form. This pretty much just allows you to rearrange your party and change their rows, like so. And job is useless to us now because we don't have any extra jobs. I can't save because I'm not on the world map. You can't save anywhere in this game. And down at the bottom we have the amount of gil we have. It only says gil because of the translation patch. And 1 capacity point, which we'll get into later. So for now, chest contained a potion and another battle. But battle is so easy because I don't have to worry about who I target as much, since the characters automatically retarget. It's beautiful. See, I've only played this game once before. I've played the DS remake once, and I've played the original once. I played the original fan translation for it. This is my first time playing this translation, and it's my first time playing Final Fantasy III in many, many years. Okay, everyone levels. Now, how does that affect their HP? Yeah, see, they all gain slight variations to their stats. Like, everyone now has 40 hit points, except Melfi, who has 41. Leather armor. Is that better than what anyone currently has? Is it better than the vest? Oh, no, that's a leather shield. Ah. Okay, well, let me put it in your left hand. Let me explain how shields work in this game. Shields have incredibly good defense and evasion bonuses. If you put on a shield, basically the amount of overall damage you're going to take will be halved. But there are benefits to not using a shield as well, because every character can dual wield. So if your character can't use a shield, like if it's a mage or something, then you might as well let them dual wield staves, because they won't take any penalties to it either. Also, there's a slight bug in this game where, let's say you've got a flame sword of something, and you're fighting enemies that are immune to or resist or absorb fire, and you want to use that sword against them, because you don't want to have to bother changing out your equipment. Put the weapon in the character's left hand and the shield in their right hand, and that will turn off the weapon's element. It's a silly bug, but it could be useful if you don't have any backup weapons. But yeah. Huh? What's up? There's something strange about that rock. Now that you point it out. Yeah, so you examine the rock. Yeah. And this is basically just to teach you about secret walls, which we will be seeing a lot of. Leather? Okay, is that another leather shield? Kinda wish the icon appeared. We might find a couple more leather shields. I forget all the treasure in this dungeon. Now, these are some interesting enemies. What's this thing called? I can't see the name anymore. What am I doing? I don't have to choose targets. Just hit things until they die. I like how bouncy the numbers are too. And they're all color-coded. It's great. Okay, all the way over here is South Wind. Now, is that supposed to be called South Wind? I thought the items were Arctic Wind and Antarctic Wind, but whatever. Either way, that item is going to become very useful very soon. Because the bosses in this game aren't anything like the bosses from Final Fantasy 1 or 2. In Final Fantasy 1, all you really had to do was overpower the bosses. And stay alive, of course. In Final Fantasy II, it was mostly the same way, except that sometimes bosses had quirks or gimmicks to them, like sometimes they'd have ridiculously high defense, or sometimes they'd absorb all elements, or something like that. This game uses what I like to call puzzle bosses. There is always one way to really trivialize each boss, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. Over here, a wellspring. What mystifying colors. Why don't we try a sip? Oh, for crying out loud. And the 4 children drank the wellspring's water. An extraordinary energy is surging through us. HP and MP restored. Yeah. And another south wind. Yeah, also, I guess if you press B while you're on the field map, then it brings up a list of items. But I think it only happens if you're facing something that can be interacted with. Because, yeah, instead of having to open the menu or the game automatically opening the window to prompt an item use, you can just do it on your own. It doesn't come up all the time though. You can't just walk up to any random old NPC and give them a potion, because it won't always do anything. For the main characters, Final Fantasy III tried to give the main cast a bit more personality, even though all 4 main characters are pretty much the same. They tried to do this by making them talk more, because the characters in 1 never spoke and the characters in 2 hardly spoke. They talk very frequently, but it doesn't really care which one is talking, because like I said, they all pretty much have the same personality. In the DS remake, the main character, the one at the top, is pretty much just supposed to be the standard JRPG protagonist. He has the least personality of all. He pretty much just does what the world expects of him at all times, and goes in the adventure because the adventure is there. You know the type. The blue one is just the girl of the group. She's kind of sassy, because, you know, video games, and they hardly ever write female characters to be interesting. They're just there to be female, and that's it. The green one in the DS remake was Ark, and he was the shy, socially awkward type who always needed to be stood up for. And she never really develops all that much. I mean, he has a few spouts of bravery later in the game, but that's not really development. That's just acting randomly. I mean, he had no reason to become brave. He just decided one day that he was going to be brave for one scene. And then the last character was Ingus, who is the serious, strong, silent type, you know? Although a bit less silent and a bit more sarcastic. You know the type. So that's it. Those are all the characters. So if you want to picture them with those kinds of personalities when they speak, then go right ahead. I mean, it actually doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, this spring here allows you to heal up for free whenever you want. It's a free healing spot. So you can actually just hang around this floor. You'll be unable to save while you do this, but you can just grind here for a while. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Still used to Phantasy Star. I'm sorry, this is gonna take me a bit to get used to. And the characters are already so strong. They one-shot everything. And it dropped 2 potions. That's great. Also, I think... yeah, items stack now. No more individual spots for each item. I mean, they stacked in Final Fantasy 1, but they didn't in Final Fantasy 2. But in this game you have a way more inventory space. Yeah, so I'm probably just going to be doing this for a teeny bit, until it feels like leveling takes too long, and then I'll move on. And yeah, the enemies called Carbuncles, they don't have anything to do with the Carbuncle from later in the series that you're probably familiar with. Yeah, that carbuncle wouldn't show up until Final Fantasy V. I'm getting so many potions. Yeah, and unlike Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy I don't think had any item drops. I could be wrong about that. Not in the original anyway, but in Final Fantasy II, it would always give you that big menu where you can add items dropped by enemies to your inventory. Ooh, blue wisp. Okay. But in this game, they're just automatically added. Because since you have so much inventory space now, the developers knew that players wouldn't care what got added to their inventory or not. I'm not sure which game it was where inventory finally became nearly unlimited. I think it was 6. But it might have been 5. I'm not sure. I know it definitely was not 4. So no earlier than 5, and no later than 7, because 7 had a huge inventory. And everyone leveled. Okay, that's good. That's good enough for me. Don't want to do this forever. Okay. So then you head west from here, and it'll pretty much take you straight to the boss. Straight you to the boss. Yeah, but all of the music in this game is so goddamn good. There's going to be a lot of musical highlights. And there's one song in particular that I want to talk about, but that won't be for many episodes. Wind Crystal. Yeah, so if you recall the intro, it said that the Crystal of the Wind actually fell into the earth during an earthquake. That earthquake is going to come up quite a bit. In fact, I believe it was that earthquake that caused our characters to fall into this cabin in the first place. And it's also when all the monsters started appearing. What's that? An evil creature attacks. And as you can plainly see, Final Fantasy III was the first game in the series to actually do battle themes correctly. You have a normal battle theme, you have a boss theme that plays for every boss, and then at the end of the game, we'll have a unique final boss theme. Yep, and battle themes will only get better from there, as far as application goes. Now, this is the first boss, the land turtle. Now, remember what I was saying before about puzzle bosses in this game? Well, you could try to fight this thing normally by just attacking it and healing your characters with potions and all that, but you'll probably die. It's a really tough boss on its own, which is why the game gives you these, the South Winds. It gave you these specifically because the land turtle is weak to ice, and these items are very powerful. See, 8 damage. This thing has hundreds of hit points, so maybe not hundreds, but yeah, see how that did 30 damage? And then 78 damage? It's dead. Yeah, our Peasley 8 damage from knife swings would never have done much. We probably would have died if we tried to kill it like that. Either that or it would have taken us just a really long time to kill it. But this is what I'm talking about puzzle bosses. Every boss in the game has stuff that happens before it that clues you in on how to beat it. Like, maybe if you find a lot of a certain kind of weapon or item before you reach a boss, maybe the game wants you to use that item. See, that's Final Fantasy III's bosses are so brilliant. And then you approach this flashing crystal here. The crystal glimmered. You children have been chosen. The crystal is talking! I will bestow upon you children our remaining light, our last hope. Even this light will not remain with us much longer. The equilibrium of all will be forever broken. You will receive a great power when you accept the crystal's light. You children have been chosen to carry out this wish. We must not let this world be erased. The 4 children were engulfed in light. Final Fantasy III. I also believe this is the first time the Final Fantasy theme plays in its fullest form. Because I might be thinking of Prelude, actually. With strength and willpower bestowed upon them from the light of the crystal, the 4 children began their journey. Come now, oust the darkness and let light reclaim this world once more. Restore light and hope to the crystals. Yeah, and of course Final Fantasy III brought back the 4 elemental crystals that Final Fantasy I had. And they would end up being a recurring element in the series for a long time, actually. Like, there's always some kind of important crystal or crystals in every Final Fantasy game, with a couple of small exceptions. But, yeah, this is one of the, I guess people would say, traditional Final Fantasies. It's got job classes, it's got crystals, it's got airships and chocobos. Yeah, chocobos return in this game, and they're a lot more useful than they were in FF2. And they get their full chocobo theme, which I guess you'll hear. The youth were imbued with light from the crystal. Now go, enter the portal ahead to return to the surface. Warriors of the light, your journey starts here. Yep. And then, the job option becomes available to us. And we get Warrior, Monk, White Mage, Black Mage, and Red Mage. Those numbers on the right indicate how many capacity points you have to spend in order to switch to the job. But it's not a big deal, because as you fight and just play the game, you earn capacity points all the time. You don't have to worry about never having enough capacity points, and even if you don't, it won't take much to get enough. And it will never cost more than 8. 8's the maximum. You want to know how the DS remake does it? In the DS remake, there are no capacity points. Instead, you can change job classes whenever you want. Sounds great, right? Sounds like an improvement. Except no. They tried to balance it. Instead of capacity points being required to change jobs, changing jobs inflicts a detriment upon the character that did it. It gives them what gamers call job sickness. The first several battles that character participates in after changing jobs, they are severely weakened. So, you know, if you needed to change jobs for one tiny little thing, maybe a boss that you're stuck on, then in order for that character to even be effective against that boss, you have to leave, go run into a few battles, and beat those before you can use the job that you just switched to, instead of it being effective right away. Do I even have to explain why capacity points are better? I mean, granted, other Final Fantasies or job switching don't require you to spend or lose anything to change jobs, you just do it. But if they were going to replace it with something, job sickness is one of the worst ideas that they could have done. Anyway, this is the part of the game where now we have to decide what our 4 main characters' roles are going to be. Because the jobs that we give them will determine how their stats grow. So, it would be easiest to give them each a role and give them jobs befitting those roles. Muchi and Melfi are going to be my physical attackers. Doug and J. Bowie will be my spellcasters. Easy. So, Muchi, let's make you a warrior. Oh, right. You had to remove all equipment first. Minor inconvenience. You're not going to be changing jobs often. Why don't I make you a warrior? Check it out. Fighter. Or is it Firian? The answer is actually, it's neither. That's actually a unique sprite. It just uses the same head shape and hairstyle and... Okay, it uses practically everything from those sprites, but still, it's got a few alterations made to it. Okay, and as for Melfi, why don't we make you... I'm thinking either I make you also a warrior or a monk. Because I don't have Thief yet, and I need to have at least one kind of dexterity kind of physical attacker, you know? So why don't I make you a monk for now? That's a very masculine looking monk though. Yeah. The weird thing about the characters in this game being genderless is that some of the sprites look like masculine, like the warrior, and some of them look feminine, like the white mage. So it's almost like their genders change with their jobs. Oh well, let's just say that Melfi is a tomboy and live with it. Doug, you be the white mage. And J. Bowie, you can be the black mage. There we go. Looks like a pretty standard Final Fantasy party. Alright, now let's get out of here. World map music. This song is called Eternal Wind, and it's one of the best world map themes in the entire series. I love this song. It's just so dreamy. You know? Like you really feel like you're going to go on a fantasy adventure with this song. Okay, so this is the world map. You can't tell yet, but it's obvious to the people living here. But we're actually on a gigantic floating continent. A floating island. We're not actually on the surface of the planet. So, the first third of this game is us trying to find a way off of the island. Of course, random encounters. Killer bees! Not the bees. Yep, so look at how much damage our characters do now that they're no longer Onion Knights. Fuck, what? Did that thing just insta-kill Doug? Oh, god damn it. This is off to a bad start. Oh. I forgot to give them equipment. It's gonna take me a bit to get used to this game. God damn it. Okay. Yeah. And this is what I was mentioning before. Since there's no penalties for dual wielding, and it actually does work in this game, unlike in FF2, you actually do attack with each weapon, then any character that can't use shields might as well be dual wielding. So, dual knife wielding black mage. Oh yeah. But right now, I gotta get to town and get Doug resurrected. Wait, this is the village of This is the orphan's hometown. Oh my, where are you four Rugrats off to? You kids are off to save the world? Did you guys get bonked in the head? Actually, we did, but that's not related. It's said that those blessed by the crystal's light can regain their health and even revive themselves by drinking the holy water that lies within temples. And the temple is right over here. Press the B button to bring up the opportunity to use an item. Try using a potion on me. This is just to teach you how to do it. Don't actually use a potion on him. He doesn't give you a reward. He just says, good job, and then you lose a potion. Don't do it. The elders are waiting inside. Father Don has sensed that something has happened to you guys. Now, when we come in here, let's see. I can sense what has happened to you children. The other elders wish to speak with you. Oh, is it that we suddenly look like adults? Is that what happened to us? Also, Melfi is undergoing some changes. But we should be there to support her, you know? HP and MP restored. Yep, and then there's another fountain over on the eastern side that resurrects party members. You don't gotta pay. Revived. Let me take a look at him. Revived with 1 HP. Really? Now you're gonna make me walk all the... Oh! There's a dash button! Oh my god, there's a dash button! Okay, pretty certain this is just a translation hack. I don't recall Final Fantasy III having a dash button. Huh. Let me look this up, just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. Okay, Final Fantasy III does not originally have a dash button. I guess the guy that made the translation hack threw it in, and I don't recall seeing that in the README. I mean, in the forum topic about the hack, he was only saying that he was thinking about it, not that he actually put it in. Oh well, whatever. It's a pleasant inclusion. Okay. Elder Tumak, one of the village elders. If you wish to master the titles bestowed upon you by the crystal, there is a hidden power from within that you must seek. That power is known as capacity. And this is our mother. I forget her name. Nina, the adoptive mother of the 4 orphans. I'm very worried. Promise me that you'll all be careful. Why are your faces white? I don't know. Elder Chopapa, the man who raised the 4 orphans. Father Chopapa, we... And then we run back and forth explaining everything. I know. Never did I think it would be you children that would be chosen. Moochie, Melfi, Doug, and J. Bowie. You had to do this every time you say his name. You must understand that your meeting with the crystal was not happenstance. It was the crystal's will. You 4 have been chosen. You must now set forth on your journey. Take your power, the light you hold in your heart, and seal away the darkness. And that's all. You never actually have to come here. It doesn't do anything. It's just for story purposes. Does Nina say anything different now? Nope, not really. Oh well, so much for our parents. But yeah, we were orphans and we were adopted, but it's never really explained where our characters came from. Not in this game anyway. In the DS remake, they tried to explain it. They failed. But I'll get into that later. King Sasne's castle is to the west of here. He is the lord of all the lands surrounded by the Parmeni Mountains, including this village. That earthquake buried the crystal's altar. It seems the world is coming to an end. The town of Kazus is just a little south from here, but ever since the earthquake, no one wants to leave this town because of the monsters that have appeared. Okay, and then up here we have our three main shops: magic, armor, and weapons. Let's check out the magic shop first. Welcome, how may I help you? All you have is poisoner? I'm not buying that. But this introduces another unique feature to Final Fantasy III: buying in bulk. And there's so much more to this than just being able to buy 4 potions at once or 10 potions at once. If you buy 4 potions at once, you get a 10% discount. And if you buy 10 potions at once, you get a 20% discount. Bulk discounts! It's amazing how all these tiny little features make this game already feel years ahead of its predecessors. Armor shop. Let's see. Leather armor. It's gotta be better than the vest that we have now. Bronze gloves. What? Okay, if you look at the right, the characters that are dancing are the characters that can equip that item. The item you have highlighted. Why can they equip the bronze gloves? You'd think that'd be something that only the warrior could equip in this situation. Everyone already has leather caps. Only the warrior can wield leather shields right now. And he has one, so that's good. Leather armor. I could buy a pair for everybody, but those are expensive. I don't really think I need to buy anything right now. Armor-wise. What I really need is to get some kind of melee weapon for my white mage. Let's see. Yeah, staff. Nunchuck. Why is that called nunchuck and not nunchaku? Oh well. Should I buy a pair, or is her unarmed attack better? There's also daggers, upgrades to the knives. Oh, wait, I forgot. You don't actually have to buy anything right away. There's a place around here that has a whole bunch of free items in it. Oh, I didn't want to use that. Oh, I spoke to you already, okay. It's a good idea to carry the cure spell with you. You should take some from the storehouse up ahead. Watch out for monsters, though. Yeah, out of the way. Also, I think there are patches of grass with items hidden in them. Maybe not, but yeah, if you come up here, there are random encounters in this stretch, so be careful. Yeah. Werewolves. Just fucking werewolves. We should probably just run. Oh, wrong button. Also, when you run, all of your defenses and evasions drop to 0. You become completely defenseless while you are running. So it might actually be a better idea to fight, now that I think about it. Okay, attack, attack. You don't have any magic, so I guess you just have to attack. Also, you'll notice, Doug's guard option is replaced with magic. He can no longer guard for as long as he is a spellcaster. So keep that in mind. And you don't have any spells either, but you are dual-wielding knives, so hopefully that'll make a difference. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. But Melfi is still my biggest damage dealer. Just punch punch. You got a one-punch man, this is two-punch go. I like to mix up the targets anyway. I don't know. It's gonna be a difficult habit to break. After playing Final Fantasy II for so long. God, that series was 20 episodes. How long did it take me to do it? It took me over 3 weeks. I'm expecting this series to be the longest one I've done so far. Hopefully I can get a lot of level grinding done between episodes to speed things up a bit. But yeah, those werewolves weren't that tough. If you come down here, there's a spot of the grass that you can't walk into. Click on it. Potion! Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Oh, come on, I was right in front of it. Fine. Oh, they ambushed me. Oh god, oh, come on, don't kill Doug again. Now, these things actually do a lot of damage. Come on, I don't... Actually, you know, your attack sucks, so just go ahead and use a potion on yourself. And yeah, you can use healing items during combat on people other than yourself. Fucking Final Fantasy II. Oh, he's dead. Because he didn't get to go first. Oh god. Doug's not having a lot of luck, is he? I'm probably gonna have to go back and get everyone healed up. Melfi's dead. Oh god. Now that I think about it, I should probably step outside and save too. Don't want to have to do the opening dungeon again. Okay, that was my fault. I knew the enemies in that stretch of area were tough, and I went there anyway. See, I knew. I mean, I just told my friend yesterday that I was anxious to start this Let's Play because I knew I was going to make tons of mistakes in the first part. I knew I would. I knew I would. Let's see what's up here first. Oh, you see that old lady down there by the well? There's a way to get to her. This is the part of the game that teaches you about secret paths. The game is going to be full of these. In fact, several of the nearby, in the near future, Final Fantasies will have these. I think all of the Super Nintendo ones did. Yep. My goodness, great job getting here. There are potions in this well. Really? Potion? Potion? Potion. Awesome! 3 potions. Yeah, so who's up here? I think I saw a little girl. Yep, little girl playing in the flowers. I'm picking flowers. Oh, you're picking the flowers. Don't you know that that's not a good idea? Found another potion. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this again. And hopefully we won't get our asses munched. You know, it sucks that the guard option is what gets replaced by magic. Because... maybe I should put Doug in the back row. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, and you can change characters' rows mid-combat. Come on, Doug, move. Doug doesn't seem like the kind of character that goes first very often. But yeah, the game will remember the changes that you make to the character's rows. Yeah, so we changed rows in combat and Doug is still in the back row, so there's that. Also, you can change equipment mid-battle too. And not just what your character has equipped on them either, you can change it with anything. Anything in your inventory. Okay, the encounter right here is a bit higher than I would like it to be. I just want to get into that house. The only reason I'm having such a hard time is because I'm trying to, you know, be as efficient as I can with my money by getting free stuff first and buying what I still need later. The switch to the secret door is by the candle farthest to the right. You must look up to find the other switch on the way back. Okay, he's telling us about secret switches. Secret door opens up, but when we come back, this door will be closed, because it resets when you change maps. But there's another switch right here. That's how you get back. Better remember that. And that's typically how secret doors and switches will work. There will always be switches on both sides of the door, just they won't always be visible. Antidote. Antidote. Yep, so 2 free antidotes. Come in here. Come up here. Lots of treasure chests. Leather armor, or is it a leather shield? It doesn't display it. Dagger. Cure spell. Another leather, whatever that is. And a long sword. Yay, that long sword is for my warrior. Ta-da! Awesome. Now, what was it that I picked up? Did I get... leather armor. Awesome. Okay, and Doug? Did you get anything that you can... no. I'm going to give you the other suit of leather just because I think your defense needs some work. Okay, and then I'm going to teach you the cure spell. Yep, and it appears right there. And look at that. Look at that. 10 level 1 spots already. So you actually get useful jobs and spells right away. And he's only level 4. His job level is only 1. I don't know why that's taking so long to level. You'd think job levels would level up faster than your regular character level. You'd think, you know? That's not how it works, though. If you want to get all of your jobs to level 99, your characters will be level 99 way before any of that. You're also job level 1. Now I'm wondering, is it the job level that determines how much MP you have, or your character level? It's probably the job level, because they're different character levels. Also, you'll see that the character's HP values are now going up at very different rates. The monk is getting the most HP, while the white mage is getting the least. Yeah, that's normal. So, you come back, and I could have sworn there was another way to go. No, you just click here, and you're out. Okay, so we got a new weapon for the warrior, a couple of suits of leather armor that we don't have to buy, and a cure spell that we don't have to buy. So now, Doug is actually useful. I'll cast Cure on Muji. Awesome. Ooh, I didn't realize how long I'd been recording for. Okay, I'm probably going to end the video here now. Yeah, between episodes, I'm pretty much just going to be doing a whole bunch of level grinding and shopping. You know, standard stuff. I'm not going to go to any other towns. I'll probably go out into the world map and hang around town. But I'm not going to progress the story in any way. I just want to make sure that I don't waste you guys' time by me being stuck in dungeons for really long times because I'm not a high enough level. So, you know. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. If you liked this episode, leave a like. I'm still just starting out and every like means a lot to me. And if you want to be notified when I upload more videos, subscribe and you will. And if you want to support me on Patreon, there'll be an end card at the end of the video and a link in the description below. So, I'll see you all in the next video. Alright, now it's time to stir the pasta. Ready? Let's do it! Stir harder! 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 Let me do it.